Hey, I'm Empress Rose and welcome to our collective reading for the week. It's a little late, sorry about that. So in my scrying ball, I'm seeing an interesting image that sort of shifts a little bit. At some moments, I just pulled some cards from Dreamscape Oracle. We'll be looking at these in a second. In some moments, it looks like two deer or two moose, and they're leaping together or are possibly conjoined. It's like a two-headed moose, but there's a leap taken together, either two heads, one body, or two so in sync that it appears like it's one body. There's also a windmill aspect. And are they moose? Are they bunnies? There's just like a large, like ears or antlers or something, and they're not identical, but they're pretty close, and they're in sync. And if they're windmills, they're also in sync as well. So there's some sort of some movement in sync is just the overall gist of the images that are coming through here. So from the Dreamscape Oracle by Matt Hughes. Oh, all right. We've got some sea critters here. Again, there's a theme of doubling. So sea turtle, again, as we've had previously from this deck, slow and steady wins the race. An emotional steadiness. There's something about the moon coming in here. The sea turtle's sort of reproductive cycle does follow the moon, as with many animals. Their cycles are very synced up with the moon. Especially sea animals. I guess that would be because the water is and the tides are all linked up with the moon, so it's not very mysterious. It's just the moon doing its thing to their environment and the places in which these sea animals live. And creating the tides and the movement. And then they just use that movement. So sea turtle, slow and steady wins the race. There's also some slow emotional movement there. Octopus, multitasking, another sea creature. I love how these are like in space, these sea creatures in space. Octopus always reminds me of space too, for some reason. Just I think the DNA being so strange and unusual. But it can be multitasking, versatility, variety, also clinginess, a little bit of clinginess with the octopus. There's wisdom here too, a knowing. But then that comes in pretty clearly with the white owl here. Ooh. Just a really powerful card. Wisdom, knowing, seeing, messenger from beyond. A message. There's maybe for somebody here watching this, there's a sense of somebody that's deceased making some contact, perhaps through the animal world, perhaps through a deer or something. There is sort of this this strong connection. It's so extensive and expansive, it's hard to just put it into a little video like this. But there's something here about someone making contact through some sort of animal world or through an animal. There you might see an animal that's a synchronicity. There's a synchronicity here having to do with animals and a passing of somebody. This owl very clearly states that to me. The octopus as well. I'm going to take a little break and process what I'm seeing. It's just, so I'm back, a little processing here, trying to figure out what I need to say here. But with the deer, the octopus, and the white owl, they all combine together as very personal symbols to me of contact with someone from the afterworld. And in a way, I don't feel like I can go and string all of these, weave this all together for you. But in my mind, it all just happened in an instant of just this clarity of what the deer are doing here, what the octopus is doing here, what this white owl is doing here, and the overwhelming message that I am receiving, which may just be for one person, maybe for multiples in multiple different ways, and maybe that's why I'm not feeling capable or called or capable of really weaving the story together for you, because the story is going to be very individual for all of you. But there is this really strong sense of a passing or contact with someone who's passed, a very very strong sense of that coming in here. So just, I would be looking for signs, symbols, communication, truths coming in. Yeah, a communication coming in. And not this especially, in particular, tarot reading for the general, and also tarot readings, they're not going to, we're not, I personally am not asking for tarot to bring in, shocking news that causes anxiety or whatever. This is not going to be a shock or a surprise. This is something just to look for and to be aware of, and to maybe even relax into a little bit and take a moment to relax into, the message or the seeing or whatever. So very interesting card coming out, also the Selkie card, as far as limitation. And I'm feeling that, and I think that's part of the message too, is feeling a sense of limitation in how far you can go with something, or how much you can express something. There could also just be, the Selkie is about external limitations. It's about perhaps even having made decisions in the past that limit you currently, in a way that it's not reversible. Like, this is reminding me today of the Devil card, of decisions that we've made, agreements that we've made that we can't really get out of, that we can't really that still need to be fulfilled, that we are not being released from. There's some sort of external limitation going on here that we can't free ourselves from at this point. So and then that's feeling the same with, like, me having these whole stories kind of weave together in my mind, but yet feeling this very strong restriction that I'm not able to share that with you for some reason. Like, it's not going to be expressible in this venue. So there is a limitation coming in here. You could be receiving a communication regarding a limitation. This could be like I said, it seems like it's a long-term limitation. It's something from the past that keeps you tethered. I want to say imprisoned, but that doesn't feel right. I would just say it feels like a tethering that does limit your freedom, and at some point was a choice that you made. And then we have the gate. So it seems like there's an opening here. And the sea turtle, this octopus, and this white owl could all be indicative of different people in a scenario, and the different roles they play. The sea turtle, the slow and steady, wins the race. The octopus, the one who's got their fingers in everything and has to wear many hats throughout the day. The white owl, seeing, perspective, wisdom, messages. And then the Selkie, this sort of limitation that may be present here, with these characters, with how they communicate, something like that. And then we have the gate. So I see that there's an opening here. And what I'm seeing is this Selkie imagery here, this opening towards a different world, a new freedom, right? I'm hearing Little Mermaid, a whole new world here. right, because this is sort of like the agreement that she makes at some point to give up her seal self for legs, and so, but there, I feel like there's an opening to return to the sea. There's like so much sea imagery here, and there's an opening. Like she really, the Selkie belongs to the sea, but in the current state, she's unable to fully return there. And that is because of a prior agreement. But there is a sense of, I think this gate represents possibilities, and opening those possibilities. And this gate, this card in particular, comes with a sense of intention, of intentionally widening a space, intentionally opening up to something. It's reminding me of a mantra my midwife gave me while giving birth, and it was open, open. So it feels like this needs some coaxing, some coaching. The gate isn't open, but we're opening and creating openness, where here we have restriction, and this almost feels like the opposite, or the path out of that restriction. And it could just be an opening of your mind, and an opening of or an opening, an opportunity that opens up, a door that opens up for getting out of this, what is starting to feel like a very unnatural state. So looking for opportunities to open, and how we can intentionally expand that opportunity or take that opportunity. I do feel like there's some effort here on your part required to open up this doorway, to open this door further. Like it's like it feels like the universe unlocks the door, and then you are expected to do something to push it open. All right, and then from the Dreamweaver's Oracle by ColetteBaron-Reid. When the ones you need fly close. So this can be about this is like a Two of Cups energy. It can be about a close personal relationship, but it can be about like a romantic relationship, but it can also be about friendship. And like last week we were talking a little bit about a gathering, like there might be a family gathering or something like that. And this is a similar vibe, like a gathering, and being close to people that feel good to you, building intimacy. I feel like that in a way this is this, like there's a lot of isolation here. There's like a decision that was made and has resulted in a sense of isolation, when in fact the original intent of the decision may have been something like this, but then we end up in a space like this. So this to me is talking about like opening a door between people. And it could be friendship, it could be, family of origin relationships, it could also be a romantic relationship. So there's something here that is about connecting to people that make you feel good, that you vibe with, right? The bee is all about vibration, the bzzz, the hum of the bees, and the vibration and the way they're the community. And it can be about community too, just not just two people, but that is really important. Like, I don't know why I'm saying just two people. It is a really important aspect of our lives, is these close, intimate connections. So when the ones you need fly close. So, and to me, there's like a sense of physical proximity to somebody. It's not, yeah, when the ones you need fly close. So close, reaching out to people, like these are a little bit kindred spirits here, right? The octopus and the turtle, they're both very different, operate in very different ways, but they live in the same space. So, and then we have the firebird is called to soar, the phoenix. This could be the resurrection of a relationship that's undergone a lot of restriction, and now there's a door opening for reunion and resurrection there. Something returns. The firebird called to soar. The phoenix that looks like ashes but is actually revitalized, revived. It's a new day, it's a new dawn. I get this with the gate too. A new day, a new dawn here. And something comes to life. It could be a friendship or a relationship that's been on pause, on hold for a while. Some sort of external difficulty. The Selkie could, you know, this inability to swim in your native waters. But yeah, a Firebird is called to soar. It looks like the gate opening again, some sort of portal opening again. Here. Sorry, it's loud. It's a hollow table. It's got some loudness, and I'm just, I don't know, shuffling the Paulina Tarot. I kind of find this deck, it really called to me today, but I find it a little overwhelming as far as like a lot of imagery. So we're just gonna prepare ourselves for a little bit of overwhelm here. From the bottom of the deck, Six of Wands, Victory. A dragon, like we had last week, but these penguins. There's something here about victory from the south. That's really interesting. He's doing it, flashing the, I guess it's victory. The battle is won. The battle is over. Being honored and recognized for a skill. And I see a strength card too here. I see this strength card. And what's interesting too is that I don't usually do that. I usually pull the card and put it down, but I was holding it over, and here we have the tarot card, the tower card, the tower card at the bottom here. So it seems like a crisis and sort of emerging. And this is also reminding me of this phoenix right here. See those, how similar they are? Is it a dragon? Is it a phoenix? Emerging from some sort of crisis, the winner. There are some things where we do have winners and losers. But this is also a celebration of you. You won, everybody won. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Cups, we have quite a few cups, so this could be about a relationship here. In the recent past, Eight of Wands, a lot of communication. And this is always communication that changes things, communication that transforms reality into something different. So it's not just talk, 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 talk. Wasn't that a nice conversation? This communication is a lot of communication. Could be back and forth texts about planning something. Could be a time in the past in which you had a lot of communication with someone, especially if we're like, these bees fly close. When the ones you need fly close. So a lot of communication, perhaps planning communication, perhaps it does have something to do with transforming a situation. It's not just, you know, we talked for hours and that was it. It's like, well, we texted back and forth and we used to talk for a long time and made plans or something like that. So this is about a relationship in which there was at some point a lot of discussion and a lot of communication. Current situation is Four of Cups. Discernment, whether this is real or not. Yeah, you've been down this path before. So this is maybe someone that you've talked to a lot before, or you've had experience, or you've just had similar experiences enough that have been unsatisfying or haven't brought you what you wanted. And so there is a lot of hesitancy, discernment, and maybe even not even seeing an opportunity for the opportunity that it is. But there is a sense, right? This one's full of flowers, but were these ones full of flowers too and they all died? Like, what we've already had 4 cups. Is this the real cup, or is this just another routine? So this could be someone that you have. This to me can be both a pattern breaking card, a pattern recognition card, or like yeah, it's a pattern breaking. Or is this the same old, and we want to break the pattern? Or is this a totally different thing than what we've experienced before? And in some ways, we might not even be open to the new thing coming in or the new offer. It could be same person, new cycle, new routine. Yes, we've gone through this one before. Is this the same as the other ones, or is this one new and different? And the way this card presents in all different decks is different. Like this one has it like, yeah, this is the real opportunity. This is the actual opportunity. And since I did pick this deck up, with some level of hesitancy or it's not my favorite deck, but so what am I saying? I'm saying like I selected the deck for a reason, and I know that especially when there's a deck that I don't use regularly, that there's usually some sort of reason. So this could be the reason that in this deck in particular, this is actually a real opportunity. Or at least this deck wants you to consider that, or you are considering whether something is just the same old routine, or is this the new real deal? And so for some reason you're questioning that, whether this is the same pattern we've been in for forever, or if this is an actual real opportunity, or is this just one of many disappointing experiences? So, hopes, fears, inner landscape, 2 of Wands here. This one has some resistance. There could be some internal resistance to something. 2 of Wands is sort of like, I'm inspired, but there are practical issues here. So you could just be thinking very practically about something, and this would be like, well, okay, but practically, how is this actually going to work? What's actually happening here? So this is just like, there are practical considerations here. It's not just like, let's follow our hearts, let's follow our passion here. There are very practical things to take into consideration. So that's maybe where your mind is, or maybe even why you're hesitant to start a new cycle or take this new cup, is because you're like, well, let's say these cups are full of wine. You're like, well, I have to go to work tomorrow morning, so I'm not sure, however fun this sounds, I'm not sure I really do want to take another cup. Or, oh, this is all well and good, but when the rubber meets the road and stuff actually starts happening, or is this really a realistic situation? Is this practical? So you do have a lot of practical issues on your mind that you're thinking about. Yeah, there's a grounded energy here that is keeping you internally, that's keeping you from just like flying off into the ethers with excitement with these wands, right? We have 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands, and King of Wands reverse. So there's just some practical issues that are sort of weighing you down and keeping you a little more grounded, and maybe have you worried and concerned. So King of Wands, which is like, obviously, like, there's practical issues in this world, there's practical issues to be dealt with. They do tend to be the source of concern. So what's at issue here is this King of Wands reversed. I do not like King of Wands reverse. This is player energy. This is because the King of Wands reverse has like this expertise and this ability to wield and use that expertise in a very not good way. So King of Wands reverse can be male or female. It's got cult leader vibes, selfish vibes, narcissist vibes, ego. This person either completely lacks charisma or has so much charisma they can get anyone to do anything they want. They're very manipulative. This is a manipulative person, and like coming in as a king here, it's expert manipulation. It is like they know what they're doing. They know how to manipulate, possibly you personally, or possibly just in general. But this person knows how to push your buttons, knows what you want to hear, knows what you don't want to hear. King of Wands in reverse is just someone who can manipulate a vibe and can use their charisma. I want to say, like, could it be someone who has no charisma whatsoever? But that's not what I'm getting. That doesn't feel quite right here. And there's this globe. The world here shows up as something this person seems to own or feels like they own. And what's interesting too is that the Six of Wands had some strength vibes as something that you really had a strong battle with. This King of Wands is also very strong, has very strong energy, very strong pull, very strong power, but they're out of sorts. So this could be an inspiring leader this could also be someone who's not inspired. Okay, that's where I'm like, lacking charisma, uninspired, depressed. This person could be very depressed. They are out of sorts though. It's someone who's usually at the top of their game, not at the top of their game, either because they have bad intentions or because they themselves are not in a good energy, in a good space, and yet they possess some sort of leadership skill or leadership position. So it can be a little dangerous when a king is reversed, because they do have all the skills of a king, but there's either ill intent or unintentionality. So anyway, in your environment, Five of Cups, there is a lack here. Well, we have this Selkie energy. Regrets, Five of Cups is somebody in your environment, or the environment itself could have a grief aspect to it. This Five of Cups could be regrets in the environment, regrets of past actions, behaviors. Someone in your environment, someone that's not you, could be having a lot of regret right now. Or there could just be like regret or grief or sadness in your environment. It's I feel like I've been seeing some kind of funeral or something, family gathering, funeral for a while here in these cards. I'm not quite sure, we can't be having that every week, but there does seem to be something along those lines. But there's regret in the environment. What's interesting about Five of Cups is there's this spillage of Three Cups, and like I'm almost resisting. I can feel myself resisting seeing the Two of Cups. Like, there's still a lot of cool stuff. Like, yeah, we have this loss, and so there's a focus on the loss and a focus on the regret. It's like if you had a conversation with someone, and this Eight of Wands could be about this communication in the past. It's like if you had a conversation with someone and it mostly went okay, but maybe you said one or two stupid things, which is going to happen, right? You can say 100 sentences, and if like 10 of them are dumb, you're still getting an A, right? You still did a pretty okay job. My day job involves me talking for 8 hours straight to people. So I just build in an understanding that some of that's going to be dumb, and that's just how it comes out, right? So this Five of Cups is sort of like not able to see the good, but focusing only on the bad. And as I'm reading this card, it is so hard for me to want to acknowledge those Two Cups where, the rest of the 80%, 90% of the conversation went great, right? And we're resisting that. Or we're resisting the idea, or someone in the environment is resisting the idea that there is a good, positive future available here. So there's just a sadness, a regret in the environment, and maybe even, this is the first time I've felt like a stuckness in the past, a stuckness in regret. Like oftentimes Five of Cups leads me to talk about we have grief, and it's a process, and it takes its own time, and it does its own thing. And we're working through regrets and grief all the time. and it has its own length. So it's okay to experience it for longer than what other people expect, because who are they to be the experts on grief, unless they really are a grief counselor, in which case what they're actually telling you is that it takes the time it takes, and it's never fully complete. But this one, there is a sense where we can get sort of trapped in these loops, and at that point we do need to see a grief counselor. We do need to see someone to help us out of that loop. So that's what I am feeling, a little bit of a negativity or grief or sadness loop, some focus on that, and a lot of resistance to being able to change the focus or move through that. So I wouldn't call it stuck, because I really hesitate to call anyone's grief or regret process as stuck, but there's a sense of it's just right here. It's right near you, this beautiful opening, but there's still a strong focus in your environment. This is the environment. So Nine of Pentacles is your to-do list. I don't know quite how you just do Nine of Pentacles, but it is like success. It could be focusing on your success. It could be harvest. It has this Six of Wands energy. So maybe someone around you is in grief and regret, but this is just like, I wouldn't say wish fulfillment, I would say effort fulfillment. Like your work is paying off, your effort is paying off here. And to accept that, to embrace that, to receive that, right? You're being offered something, and this is like, you are enough. This is sort of Empress, Minor Arcana Empress energy of abundance, enough, being enough in yourself. And yeah, there's some regret. Maybe some people around you aren't feeling so good about some of their decisions that they've made, but you're fine, you're good, you're golden. Step through this gate into the next phase. Nine of Pentacles is often about a harvest energy, the next phase, and then we move into the next phase. We do this sort of bringing in this energy. And in fact, here we have like the Empress from this deck, or I see that as the Empress, the rabbit in the red dress, which shows up in multiple decks by multiple artists. The rabbit in the red dress, this Empress, success after a hunt. And that's so, you know, maybe your enemies, you know, whoever the Selkie gave her sealness to is perhaps not too stoked about the situation when they go back, when they take it back, when they take back their power. They're not that stoked about the situation. And in a sense, I feel like you should be, that it's okay that there are people around you that aren't so happy with your success. It's probably a good thing. They may have wanted to hold you in their power for a very long time. So reveling in your success, enjoying the success you have. And if you don't have all the success you do have, there's a really strong reason to, energetic reason to have gratitude for what you do have. So in your environment, or in where we're headed, Page of Cups, surprising new feelings, a page being possibly a person here with some surprising new feelings. So it could be this Knight of Wands is looking like somebody is regretful, somebody is upset about the decisions they made. They may be acting out in strange ways. They may be not feeling right, not feeling good. There can be a sense of impotence here, of energetic impotence, not necessarily physical, but energetic impotence. Of this has a lot of like helplessness to it too. So there could be someone here who is feeling very helpless, a little depressed. I would say, you know, you don't need to rub it in their faces, but carry on with your own bad self here and with what you've accomplished and created. Page of Cups, a new relationship coming in, a new surprising, delightful relationship. Somebody here is growing from you know, some difficulty. It is a sense of this Phoenix rising again, because I just don't think that this Page of Cups, this is their first resurrection. But it feels new. There's a newness here, a freshness energy. We have the lotus blossoms coming up from this water, this depth of emotion coming into being. It's the cup, the Page of Cups. And here we have, this could be really seen as our Page of Cups. We have these little guys down here. This Page of Cups bringing in this cup here, a real opportunity, like it's full of stars, and you may be feeling a little cynical about it, but they've got someone has something to offer here, and it's a delightful offering. And it could even be like a new friendship or a new connection with somebody, or a renewed connection with somebody. All right, and then we're gonna go with the little prayer. Okay, we have 3 prayers. That's a lot of prayers. Changes in the air. Sometimes we take things for granted and forget to stop and realize how incredible the ordinary things can be. Growth does often seem improbable, yet it happens every day in many ways. So too is something growing in your life that seems at the moment unlikely or impossible, yet it will happen anyway. Have faith, trust your feelings, and relax. Changes in the air. So I like that with the Selkie and the gate too here. This changes in the air, and at the time when we feel trapped or stuck, we often don't see that it's even possible, but this door opening is really, bringing that to mind here. A firebird called to soar, changes in the air. And I'm also thinking about how this octopus, can change colors. Keeping it simple, your mind may convince you that manifesting your destiny is more difficult or complex than it needs to be. Yet the guidance of the Divine Mother is to keep things simple. Do what you can do, let go of everything else. I absolutely love this. Changes in the air, things are changing. Have faith, trust your feelings, and relax. And this is just reiterating that, keeping it simple. Yeah, it looks like winter right now, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming in here. Things are changing, even though you can't see it right now. And also just to don't overthink it. Like last week's message was, it's okay to overthink this decision. This one is, don't overthink it. Change is happening. I don't think, this victory is happening. This resurrection is happening. Yeah, I don't think you have to do very much, because we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is just like receive the harvest for work already put in. And the divine plan is always happening, even if all appears to be going backwards. Okay, again, we're getting this sort of like 5 of Cups, things not going well energy. Everything references like growth seems improbable, something seems unlikely, impossible, something seems more difficult or complex. And you feel like you're going backwards at an alarming rate. Do not give in to doubt. Do not dispense with trust. The ocean appears to be pulling back in order to build another wave that will soon reach the shore. So it is with the unfolding of life, the mysterious workings of grace. Trust unconditionally and celebrate. So, all right. So trusting in this harvest, in this victory, even when things do not appear to be going your way. All right, and one more card from, I forget what this deck is called. Warrior Wolf, intelligence, instinct, protection. Fierce hunter and protector, be the guardian and guide of my journey. So as we're moving through this, you have a fierce hunter and protector. You're safe as you move through this. Just gonna see what else. There is an offer arriving. You can't see it yet, but you will see it. And to trust that a real, true offer is coming. You're just unaware of it at this point, is what I'm getting as an additional message with the 4 of Cups and the Page of Cups at the end. All right, well, I hope that that was helpful. Thank you for joining me for yet another lovely reading from these lovely, gorgeous cards that these artists have put so much effort and work and care and love into. It's really fun to be able to, one, support these artists, and two, like play with this imagery. It's so cool, beautiful. All right, have a lovely, beautiful week.